Hello, everybody. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Welcome to episode 12 about money.
I saw the subject this week and I was like, another one that hits me to the core. So I'm excited to see what he has to say again.
And I'm excited to see all the people that are here right now. 19 people across the whole board right now. That's awesome. We got one like right now. If there's other people around the call or on the show right now, if you are new to the show, put a number 1. And if you have been here before, put a number 2. We would love to see who is new here. And if people are new, maybe we can congratulate them for coming on the show for the very first time. Like, that'd be awesome, right?
100%. Welcome to the community.
And if you are new and you're wondering, what is the turning point? I am Tyson. I'm one of your MCs. And we got Aaron, which is our other MC. And tonight could be the turning point for you. And I want to introduce you to Doug Dane, who is the brains behind this. And Doug's life started with abuse and has turned it into an abundance. And now he's on a mission with this show to show others how you can do the same. And Doug and the team have created this show because we wanted a platform to reach a lot of people and help them get unstuck really fast. And Doug's discovered that the turning point can happen very fast for everyone here, all 23 of you, actually and it's quite simple too. And Doug spent years trying to figure out how to get ahead, and it was really, really hard. It took him a long time, but it doesn't have to be that way for you guys. There's a better way. This could be your turning point. So, a little brief thing about the turning point. It is a question show. So if you have a question, you submit it in the chat, or around question time, I'm going to submit a link where you can come on anonymously and ask it to Aaron. Right, Aaron?
Of course. I'm always here, guys, behind the scenes, working the magic.
Exactly. So look at all the people. Awesome.
Hey.
Right. So
welcome back, everybody. Steve, Heather, Johnny, Jim, Emily, Amy. Hey. I love it. That's awesome.
Okay, let's bring on Doug. Hey, Doug.
Oh.
Hi.
How are you doing? You guys are so cute. I just love watching you so much. Show off. Man, oh man, never picked 2 good people. I'm lucky to have you both here. So good.
To have you
here and have you backing me up and helping everybody else on the call too. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's we should
just
jump right in, I guess.
Others, though. Maybe we can tell people to share it. You know, speaking of other helping others.
Yeah, definitely. We got a little share. I got a little share gift to give away later on. So we always ask people to share this. Share it now. Just hit the share button if you're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, by the way, watching with you guys, so I can keep an eye on your comments and your questions. So I think you just hit the share button, bottom left-hand corner of your phone. You can click on that. There's a comment. Hit the share button and share it with somebody. Maybe tag somebody. Go, hey, Aaron, you should watch this. Listen, I know you know people in your life that are having problems with money. In fact, 95% of the population is having a problem with money. So I'm sure there's somebody out there you can think of that you can share. And if you want to win the little contest, make sure you do the hashtag that Tyson's got going across the screen here. Hashtag Ask Doug Dane. And that's the idea behind the show is to, I wanted to, I said every week, but I wanted to create an environment where you could get some real help. Ask some direct questions. Whatever's on your mind. Tonight I want to talk about money, but you can ask me anything that you want, and we can talk about it. You can send questions in advance to the show if you ever want to do that. Just send me a question. You can go to my website. You can go on my Facebook page, YouTube, whatever you like. Just reach out and say, hey, I could use some help with this, and that helps me formulate some topics. Jim, you like my new office, buddy? I just got it done actually. I did. I'm in my new studio.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a better webcam to sort of see a little bit broader view, but it is a beautiful space. The guy just put the doors on today. He goes, man, oh man, this is a luxurious office. And so I got a new rug. I got new cabinets. They're floor to ceiling. They're 11 by 10 feet wide, 11 feet high. Goes all the way to the ceiling. And I got a friggin' beautiful reclaimed teak wood desk coming next week, which I'm excited about. So
you deserve it.
I do deserve it, damn it, and so do you. Everybody deserves to live the life that they want to live. So let's talk about money. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody needs to. Everybody should, but they don't want to. And so I want to talk about money. So listen, I know that you want to earn more and you want to worry less so you can enjoy time and money freedom. And everybody should have time and money freedom. And I remember my mentor, Bob Proctor, he said, you'll be amazed how much free time you have when you never have to worry about money. And it's so, so true. I didn't get that at first, but I really, really get it now. And tonight I'm going to talk about how to really get the time and money freedom that we're all seeking and that we all deserve. But everybody's going about it. Well, not everybody. There's a small percentage that have figured this out. But there's a big percentage that are doing it all the wrong way. The problem for you is that for most of us, is you're not earning enough, or you're in debt and you don't know how to change things, which it can leave you frustrated, discouraged, that you can't live the way that you want to live. We all have things we'd like to do that we're not able to do, that we can't afford. And so for me, I just think it's plain wrong that people can't find the direction or the answers to improve their life. And that's what I'm really committed to doing, is showing people, mentoring people, coaching people, guiding, directing, showing you how to get there. Because I was in a rough spot and I finally figured it out. So I know how you feel. I went bankrupt and I was always scared and worried if I'd ever have enough to live the way I want to live. And then when I started earning it, I wondered and worried of whether I could keep earning it. And what I realized is that I didn't understand how to earn money, but I finally figured it out. And now I coach people all around the world to multiply their income and grow their sales and grow their business. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to share with you what I learned, and I want to give you a plan to make some changes. All right. So the first thing you got to do is you got to change your mind. Now, I'm going to say some things tonight. Most of them, if you've been following me, you've probably heard most of the things I'm about to say. I might say some new things, or I might say it a way you've never heard before, but nothing I'm going to tell you tonight is really all that complicated. It's actually quite simple. And I always say we want to make things complicated. That's the way we were educated. That's the way we were brought up. We think it's difficult. We think it's hard. We want to make it complicated. We overthink it. That doesn't work. And so the only way I can change your mind is if you open your mind. And so this show, The Turning Point, my goal on every show is to change your perception, to cause a turning point, to have you go in a different direction. Because if you're going down the road you're going right now, and you're not living the way you want to be living and earning what you'd like to be earning to do the things that you want to do, well, clearly you're going down the wrong road. Okay. So the first thing you got to do is you're going to have to change your mind about money. There was things that you were told about earning money that's completely wrong. All right. Things have changed dramatically in less than one generation around earning money. The internet changed everything. I remember when the internet first came out, online shopping was just taking off like crazy in the US, and Canada was way behind. Europe started to pick up, and everybody here in Canada was talking about this online shopping thing, and now look at us today. When you were young, most of us, pretty much all of us, I would say, you were told things by your parents about money that just weren't true. They told you got to get a good education. You got to go to university or college. You got to get a degree. And if you do that, you'll get a good job and you'll earn good money. And you got to work hard in order to earn a lot of money. So one of the big problems that people face right away is they start thinking about that they want to earn more money. And the first thing that they go to is they think it's going to be hard because you're already busy. People don't have time and money freedom. People have no time at all, which I laugh at. And when somebody says to me, I don't have any freaking time, I said, that's just such bullshit. You got the same amount of time that I've got. All right. We all have 24 hours in a day. All right. It's what we do with our time. And now you're going to argue with me, well, Doug, you don't understand. I got kids and they're home from school and blah, 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 blah. And you got all kinds of excuses and alibis backed up by evidence and facts to show me you don't have any time. But I know if I stuck a meter on your friggin' head or I hung around with you for a week, I could spot all kinds of places where you're wasting your time. It's not helping you get any closer to where you want to go because you're enslaved. You're enslaved by habits, your habitual behavior. So we were told all these things. And so it doesn't have to be hard, and you don't necessarily have to work harder. Now, the other problem you got is that you watched your parents growing up, and if they were struggling with money, you heard them talk about it. You heard them argue about it. You heard them say things about money that they were worried about what was going to happen. It very rarely happened, but they worried about what was going to happen. They were worrying about the future, and usually 70 or 80% of our worries never actually pan out or happen. But they would have verbalized those worries. They would have argued about money. Relationships, maybe your parents split up over money. You got all these negative associations to money. I'm just looking at Michael's here. My parents would fight about money all the time. I always thought if I had a lot, it would cause more pain and upset. There's a great example that Michael just put in there. Okay. That's what happens. Right. Now we got all these things built into us. We're not even aware of it. Okay. Now, if you stop to think, which very few people do, I'm going to try to get you to think tonight. If you stop and think and use your memory a little bit, you can probably remember some of the things you said. So I got a little exercise here for you. Michael just typed one in there. What's something, and type it in the chat in the comments. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, type in the comments. We're watching it. And by the way, you can put your questions in there too. We're going to take some questions in a bit here. It is a question and answer show. So that means you ask the questions and I try to give you an answer. I don't ask you the questions, you ask me. So type your questions into the comments on Facebook or YouTube. What I want to see from you is what is something your parents told you about money that you can recall. Just use your memory for a second. Just go back and go, what did my parents say about money? So my parents said, money doesn't grow on trees. Remember that one? Money doesn't grow on trees. I found out it did grow on trees. It used to. It was made out of paper. Now it's made out of plastic. So it's true now that money doesn't grow on trees. You should be satisfied with what you've got. You should be satisfied with what you've got. You've got enough. So what was some of the things you guys heard? Ray says, I was brought up struggling. I was always told how much my parents have struggled. I'm now trying to rewire my brain, and it's so difficult. It's not difficult, New Ray. It feels difficult, okay? Because what you're doing is you're trying to rewire your brain. You're trying to reprogram it with affirmations and visualizing and writing your goals and things like that. And what you're doing is you're meeting resistance, okay? So we have to understand what's going on here. As we go to change our mind, okay, and there's only two ways to change your mind: repetition, or an emotional impact, but those are usually negative, okay? Like on this show, I try to give you an emotional impact. I can't say enough on this show repetitiously enough to change your mind. So I try to go for a punch in the gut to get you to change your mind, okay? And so you meet with resistance because what's going on at an emotional level, where all your beliefs and all your experiences and all the crap that you saw is programmed into you. And so when you go to program something new into it, if it's contradictory, it's going to create resistance, and you're going to feel the resistance in your body, like literally. Okay. So that's what's going on. All right. And so your parents struggled, and they said things and they did things, and maybe you never saw your parents. Maybe your parents were so busy working so hard. I was talking to somebody the other day on the weekend, and they said, I watched my mom and dad just work so hard. My mom just never sat down, and she was always gone, and my dad was always traveling, and so you have all these. You really think about it. There's another one, Aaron. The harder you work, the more money you'll make. Well, that's true to some degree, but hard work is not necessarily a requirement. Okay. Now, here's a few things you got to start doing. All right. You have to stop thinking about debt. Okay. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Okay. Stop setting goals to get out of debt. If you have a goal to get out of debt, that's a shitty goal. All right. Whatever you think about is what you're going to get, whether it's positive or negative. This book here, Think and Grow Rich, which we'll talk about in a minute, Napoleon Hill wrote this. Andrew Carnegie, the wealthiest man in the world in the early 1900s, inspired the author to dedicated 25 years of his life interviewing 25,000 people, 500 of the most successful, wealthiest people in America at the time. And Andrew Carnegie said, any idea that's held in the mind, okay, so any idea that you focus on, any idea that's held in the mind, whether it's feared or revered, so whether it's positive or negative, will begin to clothe itself in the most convenient and available form possible. So what does that mean? Any idea that you focus on, whether it's negative or positive, okay, will find ways to show up in your physical world. Okay. Now, we're not going to get into a whole lot of metaphysical stuff tonight, but you really do have to just get the point. And trust me, now I didn't believe this when I heard it, but just take my word for it. And you're going to have to take a bit of a leap of faith, and you're going to have to trust somebody. Okay. Trust somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about. And how do you know what the hell, if they know what they're talking about? Just take a look at their results. Okay. And so what you've got to do is you got to focus on the positive and what it is that you want, not on what you don't want. If you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get what you don't want, because it's your mind, okay, that's creating your physical reality. And that's what we teach people to do, is if you change your mind, then you're going to change your life and change your reality. Okay, so you got to stop thinking about debt and be, well, how the hell do I do that? I got debts, I got bills coming in, I got people calling to collect, because I'm behind on something. My interest charges are coming up, my credit card statement comes in and shows I'm 2 months behind. What do you mean I can't think about debt? Well, you don't need to think about debt. You can look at the mail. You can open it up and you know where you're at. You don't have to think about it, right? You can spend a little bit of time dealing with it, taking action on it, and a hell of a lot more time thinking about what you want. But everybody's doing it backwards. Because what happens is the bill comes in, the credit card company calls, you get an unexpected expense, something happens, and boom, panic sits in. You have an emotional reaction, and that means you're not thinking. Okay, if you have emotional reactions to anything that you see, that you hear, that you read, it means you're not thinking. So you have absolute control over your thinking, but it doesn't mean you're exercising that control. And that's on you. If I stuck a meter on your head and gauged and measured what you were thinking about and how much time you were actually thinking versus just following your habitual behavior day by day by day, you'd be shocked at how little you actually think. Now, there's three kinds of people when it comes to money. Okay, three kinds of people. There's people that spend less than they make. There's people that spend more than they make, or there's people that spend all that they make. Okay, so you're either spending less than you make, all that you make, or more than you make. Now, what I discovered was if I could just earn some more money, I would be fine. Well, I started earning some money, but guess what? I was number three. I was the guy that was always spending more than I made. So it's a really freaking simple rule. Spend less than what you earn, period. That's it. That's the rule. So if you're not one of those and you're one of the other two, you got to make a decision. You go, no, I'm done. Now, nothing's going to happen until you make a decision. Okay? You can sit around and whine and complain and mope and cry and get depressed and stick your head under the sheets, go talk to all your friends and your family about how rough you got it. You do all that if you want. Or you can change your freaking mind. Make a decision, go, nope, this is the way I'm going to operate. Now, it's not going to change overnight, but it's never going to change unless you make a freaking decision. Okay? So which one are you now and which one are you going to be? If you want advice on how to earn money, stop asking poor people for advice, okay? I always say if you want to lose weight, don't go ask somebody that's fat. I don't mean that in a rude way. But that's the problem. We go to people and we ask for their advice, and they're not even getting the results we want. Now, why do we do that? I did that for so long. I thought, what the hell am I doing? And I realized was that we don't like to ask for help. We don't like to ask for advice. And we definitely, if we're struggling or we got a problem or we're facing difficulties with money, for example, we don't like to admit that to people. Like, nobody likes to talk about money. Certainly not admit that you're in debt, not admit that you're spending more than you make, admit that you're close to bank. Nobody likes to admit that. But what you do when you do want advice, you go to people that you trust. You go to people that they're not going to criticize you or maybe hopefully not judge you too much. Well, guess what? The reality is they are criticizing and judging you. If they don't do it in front of your face, they're doing it behind your back. Okay? They are judging you. And the reality, the reason you're not going and asking advice is because you're judging yourself. Okay? And so you won't go ask people for advice that you don't know and you don't trust because you're worried about what they're going to think. Okay? So there's 3 ways to earn money. Okay? 3 ways to earn money. And when I heard Bob Proctor explain this to me, and he always says it's so simple and it's so obvious, but it's yet so misunderstood. And so there's 3 ways to earn money. Now, 97% of the population earns money the first way. And what they do is they trade time for money. They go to a job and they sell their time at wholesale, and the company then sells their time at retail. In other words, they pay you, say, $20 an hour or $30 an hour, whatever they pay you, and then they charge out for their products and services at a much higher rate, and that's how they make their profit or their margin. And why do 97% of the population follow the number one or the first way? And that is trading time for money, because that's what they were taught to do. That's why you do it. You were taught to do it. Go get a job, get a good job, and start earning money. Start saving, buy a house, the typical fairy tales we were told about the way you're supposed to live with money. Now, the second way to earn money is investing money. So that's where you take capital or money that you've saved and you invest it, and your money earns money. So you lend your money to a bank or a financial institution, and then they put that money out and they get a return. They take their piece and they give you a piece, and you earn a return. And you might, you could earn anywhere from, 2%, 5%, 10%, even 15% maybe. Okay. And there's a magical thing called compound interest. So you get interest on your money and it grows, and you get interest on the growth of the money. Right. So, putting your money away and investing in it is a good idea. And the problem in that model, there's only about 2% of the population that do that, because the problem is nobody has any money to invest. And the ones that do have it, they might make a mistake with who they invest it with or where they invest it, and they lose it. Okay. Now, the third way, all right, is used by 3% of the population, but they earn 97% of all the money. And they do they have what's called multiple streams of income. They have multiple sources. They earn money from all kinds of different ways. Okay. So a great example of a multiple source of income would be having people working for you, right? They're out there earning money, and then you earn money. Another MSI multiple source would be having investment properties, rental properties, where people pay you rent. It covers the mortgage, and usually there's maybe it's a break even, or there's a little bit of a profit, and then the asset, the real estate, goes up in value that you can sell down the road, or you can borrow against that and buy another property. That's another example of an MSI. Network marketing, direct selling, is a great model. Now, people have a real poor attitude towards network marketing because they don't really understand it, or they tried it and they failed. And it's a pyramid, it doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. But the beautiful thing about network marketing is it perfectly lines up with this idea of an MSI, because you can have, dozens or hundreds or thousands of people out there under you that are either buying the products and consuming them or selling the products to other people. So network marketing is a great MSI. And so the people the 3% that are earning 97% of all the money, they don't work very hard. A big adjustment for me, because I was always a hard worker, checklist guy, get everything done, busy. And if I felt busy and if I got a lot done, I felt like I was doing a good job. I felt good about myself. And so, like Bob said, when you stop worrying about money, you'll be shocked how much free time you have. And so when I stopped learning to worry about money, I started to earn it. So did you get that? When I stopped worrying about money, I started to earn it. And the more that I've earned, the more free time I have, to a point where I got to the point I go, what the hell am I doing? I got all this free time. Like if you look at my calendar now, it's so freaking empty. And I had to get used to that, because my old version, my beliefs, the way I operated was the other way around. I thought I had to be busy, work hard, get a lot done. The other thing I found out is I'm way more effective and I'm way more productive because I don't worry about much. And so worrying is a real goal killer. Worrying is a real problem for money. Hey, Tyson.
Hey, I have a quick. So there's a comment in the chat box that kind of relates to this topic.
Okay.
I want to know what you think. So that it says, I worry about money every single day, every single hour since I was 25 years old. What do you think of that? It's kind of related.
Well, she learned to do that. Number one. So one thing I try to tell people, and the idea, the reason I tell them what I'm going to tell you is because I want them to let themselves off the hook and let it go. Okay. So all of your behavior, your worry is a habit. What you do every day is a habit. Okay. So Emily, you just learned to do this. You didn't do this when you were little, but at some point you learned it. Okay. So you said, since I was 25. So maybe you weren't doing it before 25, or maybe something happened at 25 and it caused you to worry. Like I went bankrupt at 23, and man, oh man, did I ever worry. I was worrying a lot leading up to the bankruptcy, because I had, the government coming after me. I had all these bills coming after me. I felt bad, couldn't pay the bills because I thought I was an honorable guy, an honest guy, And so I had to go bankrupt, and I really worried about money again for the next probably year. So it's something you learn to do. So let yourself off the hook and go, you know what? It's just a habit I've formed. Something happened. Maybe you know what happened or you don't. Doesn't really matter. You don't need to know. And just decide, you know what? You got to decide. I am not going to worry about money anymore, because as you've seen and as you've learned, it doesn't serve you. It's not helping you. It's not helping you earn more. It's not helping you keep more. It's not making you feel better. Okay. It's not serving you in any way, shape, or form. So you just got to decide, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I think some of the points coming up here will help Emily. Okay. By the way, if anybody wants to come on here live and chat, you can come on the show. Not many people do that. They're kind of chicken, but we'll get there. One of these days we'll have more people come on. Or if you want to put an anonymous question out, Aaron and Tyson can drop a link and you can get backstage digitally, like you're not going to be on camera like that. And you could just simply type in an anonymous question. Or if you want to come on and have a chat about money, I'd love to put you on the hot seat and get your shit sorted out like fast, cause a turning point like that, rather than being like Emily and worrying every day, every hour since she's been 25 years old. Maybe we should get Emily on the call. All right. So there's 3 ways to earn money, right? Trading time for money, investing money, or developing multiple streams of income. Now people go, well, how am I going to do that, Doug? Like I'm stuck in a job and I can't develop MSIs. I'm in debt. I don't have any money. How am I going to do that? Well, that's being closed-minded. You've got to start thinking about ways to earn extra money, but we're so locked in. We won't even think of ways to earn money because we're so locked into our current situation, which I'm going to talk about. Now, there is an absolute law. It's the law of compensation. Emerson called it the law of sowing and reaping. Earl Nightingale, Bob's mentor, called it the boomerang effect. To put out a boomerang and it comes back, whatever you put out always comes back by law, or the law of cause and effect. Now, Bob's description of law of compensation, he says, so this law of cause and effect, sowing and reaping, the boomerang effect, the way he defines it is that your income, what you earn, will always be in direct ratio to 3 things. Number 1, the need for what you do. Okay. And so if you're working or if you're in a business already, well, there's already a need for what you do. Or if you want to earn more money, just start thinking, what's there a need? What's the need out there? What's something I'd love to do? What am I passionate about? And what is there a need for? And if you think, you will get some answers, you'll get some ideas. So the need for what you do. And then number 2, your ability to do it. And number 3 is the difficulty in replacing it. Okay. And so all you've got to do is take care of number 2. Find a need for what you do. Okay. There's a need, just find a need and then do it. But make your mind up, you're going to become the absolute best at what it is you do. Okay. You are just going to get better and better and better and better. If you met me, almost 7 years ago, come May, in fact, I got it was 7 years ago today. I was in Los Angeles. I put it on my Facebook. It came up in my reminders, or your, what do they call them? Your memories. And I was in a limousine in the picture. I was at an event in LA. It was a small event of 14 people. And I spent a lot of money to get there, and it scared the hell out of me. But man, oh man, I look at where I am now and holy crap. But I was scared. I was really scared. I took a big gamble on myself. What's up, Tyson?
So we have someone that wants to come on to the show, and her name is Jen, and so she's just going to be on in a few seconds. You ready?
Let me finish up here, and then we'll bring her on. Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Right. Okay. So this law of compensation, all you really got to do is focus on number 2. Okay. And you just decide you're going to get better. And so better means there's a few things you need to do to get better. And if you get better, become a better version of yourself and better at what you do, by law, your income is going to go up. So I always tell people that work with me, you better get comfortable earning more money, because you're going to become a better version of yourself. And by law, that means you're going to put out more good, cause and effect. You're going to get more back, and you're going to get it in material income, like actually dollars and cents. And you're also going to get it in what we call psychic income or emotional income. You're going to get all this good coming back to you that makes you feel good. The reason I do this, I'm not getting paid to do this show. I do it because I get paid. I get psychic income. It makes me feel so good to help people and serve people. Okay. So you get really good at what you do. And you do that by, number 1, improve your skills. Okay. So your soft skills and your hard skills at whatever it is you're doing. So I'm constantly trying to do better at what I do, try to get better at speaking, better at presenting, try to get my message across in a different way, a better way that you'll understand it. I'm constantly investing in myself to become better. I'm constantly studying this information that I'm teaching so I can do better, so I can show you how to do better. So my role is to guide people and mentor people and coach people. And so I better have my shit together and make sure I'm doing better. Okay. I never believed that I could get up and start teaching people to do something that I wasn't doing. I always believed I had to walk the talk. So if you get really good at number 2, and you invest in yourself, you're going to become a better version of yourself, and you can put out more good. And so that's how the law works. Just get really good at what you do, become a better version of yourself by studying, by investing, right? By doing the things that I tell you to do. I always find it strange. People ask me for advice and then they don't follow it. I go, why the hell would you ask me for advice if you're not going to friggin' follow it? What's the point? Now, also you can understand is your income is controlled by your self-image. Okay. Your income is controlled by your self-image, because your self-image is like, the program on the thermostat controls the environment of your life. And so, for me, I grew up with a real self-esteem problem, real low self-confidence, inferiority complex, lots of limiting beliefs because all the junk that I went through when I was young. I didn't really understand what I was really capable of. So I started, when I did finally start earning money, I went from, at the time when I got into business, I made 17 in my first year. I just gone bankrupt. I racked up another 40 grand in debt. And then I went to an event and I learned why I couldn't earn money, because I learned what I was thinking about money. And as soon as I learned what that was, I changed it. And then I started to earn money. And then I went from 17,000 to $250,000. in a year. That was 1990. I started in 89, 17 grand, 1990, I went to $250,000. And then I pretty much stayed around the $250,000 mark for most of my career. It was up and down within, 10 or 15%. But generally, if you average it out, it was around $250,000. And then when I met Bob, he goes, what's the most you ever made? I said, well, I lied. I said, well, 300,000. And people always lie when they ask how much they earn. And he said, what did you really earn? I said, well, I earn, $250,000. He goes, that doesn't matter what the number is. It just gives me an idea of what your self-image is. He said, you're just not aware of how to earn more than $250,000. That's why you're earning it. So we have this self-image. We see ourselves a certain way. And we got this story that we tell ourselves, and we have these experiences. And I went bankrupt, and I came from this poor family, and I was abused, and blah, 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 blah. And I was locked into the story. All right. And so if you don't change your mind about this, you can't change your life. If you don't change the story you're telling, your life will never change. And so your self-image, your story is controlling you as well. Okay. Now you got to train your mind to develop a money mindset. All right. You got to give up some time you're wasting to think more about what you want. All right. All of you are wasting time, spending time thinking about things, doing things that are not getting you any closer to what you want. So you're going to have to give up some time that you're wasting to spend more time thinking about what it is that you do want. Every day you should make up 2 lists. Get your pen out, it doesn't take very long, and just make up a list of what I want. Right at the top of the sheet, what do I really, really want? And make a list. Do that every day. What do I really, really want? And make the list. And look at the list from the previous day, and just add to it. What do I really, really want? And just keep doing that over and over and over. And then also make a bunch of I am statements. So to get what you want, who do you have to be? I'm calm. I'm confident. I'm relaxed. I'm strong. I'm a goal achiever. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm effective. I'm productive. I'm relaxed. I don't, I am. Affirm yourself as if you already are. Okay. That's why you're staying the way you are, because you keep affirming the way that you are. You go, I'm not very smart. I'm struggling. I'm depressed. I am in debt. I am. And guess what? That's how you stay the way that you are. So make a list of what you want and make a bunch of I am statements. All right. And the other thing is you got to spend some time. Again, give up some time you're wasting. Spend some time relaxing and quieting your mind. Okay. Your mind can only solve problems and create solutions in a relaxed state. Okay. And so you're causing your fear, you're causing your frustration, and you're causing your anxiety. All right, so let's take a couple questions. We'll bring Jenny on, and I'm going to give people a plan before we wrap up. Well, hi.
Hi. I thought we were going to wait. Okay, hi. Welcome.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. What's your question?
I don't have a question. I thought I was coming on to be on the hot seat.
Oh, you want to be on the hot seat? Well, what's the problem? What's your problem?
I guess it's interesting that the topic today is about money. Obviously, I've been a consultant now for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get over my own money paradigms with telling people the price of TIR. Mm-hmm. Because interestingly enough, for me, I didn't even think twice when I invested in myself to take TIR. Right. I didn't think twice when I enrolled to become a consultant. I just paid everything in full. Yeah. And now I have this paradigm about getting people to pay my price to take.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So Jen is a consultant with our company at Procter Gallagher. Like that's where I started as a consultant. I'm still a consultant. So Jen joins our company and she goes, you know what? And it's a fairly big investment. She goes, she had no problem investing herself, which is really, really good actually. Because a lot of people that are listening to this, whether you're live or you're watching the replay, they have a hard time investing themselves. They'll put money into cars and, they'll build cabinets like this and they'll, they spend all kinds of money, all kinds of things, but they don't like spending money on themselves. So that's good. But now you got to go out and then you got to demonstrate to people that you can help them, this information can help them, and then you got to take some money from them, right? And so you've got a hang up about that, whatever it is. Now, something you said, all right, I want you to eliminate this idea that you have to work on your paradigm.
Okay.
Okay. Eliminate it. You don't have to work on your paradigm. Okay. You've done enough work on your paradigm. You've built this paradigm for long enough. You've done enough work to build it. Okay. That's a mistake people make. They go, I got to work on, I got to work on my limiting beliefs. I got to work on my paradigm. I got daddy issues. I got to go to therapy. I got to work my way through my story, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I did. And I discovered you don't have to do that. It was actually, the co-founder of our company, Sandy Gallagher, she was on stage one time. And, this is when she was a lawyer running all these companies, practicing law, but also working with Bob. And Bob finally got fed up and said, Sandy, what the hell are you doing? She said, what do you mean? Well, it's been X amount of time. You're still working at the law firm, helping all these clients, and you're running the companies for me. Like, when the hell are you going to make your move? She said, oh, well, Bob, I'm working on my paradigm. And he said, what the hell are you doing that for? She said, what do you mean? He said, well, she's like, I'm working on my paradigm to, make this all happen. He goes, you don't work on your paradigm. He says, you create a new paradigm. Okay. The paradigm you've got, Jen, whatever is running through your mind, whatever you're thinking or whatever you're feeling around this, you just inherited that and developed that along the way. And maybe you weren't aware of the fact that you had some paradigms around either selling or promoting yourself or asking for money or whatever. And if you get your pen out and just ask yourself, good question. Everybody should write this down. What is my paradigm? We're not working on it here. We're just identifying whatever we can identify. What is my paradigm? And what excuses and alibis is it giving me to keep me where I'm at? And so if you literally spend no more than 5 minutes on that, just jot down whatever comes to you, and then that will give you an idea of the new paradigm you have to create. And so you don't work on a paradigm or the mental program. Like, if this phone has an operating system update, so I get a notification, right? iOS update, you get, hey, there's a new iOS version available, right? Do you want to download and install it now? Okay. I don't go looking at the operating system and look at the version and go through all the apps, and I don't go through the phone and try to figure out what the hell's wrong with the phone. I just install the new update. Right? I just go install, and I plug it in, and I come back to 10 minutes later, and boom, it's working better. Like, it's that freaking simple, but we want to make it complicated. Now, you're very analytical.
Really? Okay.
Well, you are. Yeah. Yeah. You're creative, but you're analytical too. And so your operating system, the way your mind and your brain has been taught to operate, like that whole nature nurture thing, people, it's in my nature to be analytical. That's not in your freaking nature to be analytical. You were nurtured or taught to be analytical. And so for you got to try to figure this all out. Like, don't try to figure it out. Just accept the idea that it's really quite simple. I'm going to make up a paradigm. And so what are the habits I need to form? What do I have to believe? What do I have to think? How do I have to feel about myself and my abilities and how I'm going to help people and the difference it's going to make in their lives and how much I'm going to give? I love taking people's money. You know why? Because I know I do a really good job. And I take a lot of people. I take a lot of money from a lot of people because I give a lot of value. They wouldn't give it to me unless I was putting out good. Nobody would ever give me a lot of money unless they were getting a lot out of it. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't trick people these days. I mean, you'll be able to trick people. You can't trick people. People are too smart. There's too much information out there. And so just make up a list of the things that you want to believe and what you want to think that will make you successful in this business. Maybe take a list, make a list of, another question you might ask yourself is, what was I told about selling when I was young? What do my parents think about salespeople? And how do I feel about, promoting myself? Like, do you really have a self-image? Like, I got a kick in the ass of my self-image on Tuesday morning. I was really struggling. And all within Tuesday afternoon, evening, and Wednesday morning, there was a series of things that happened. It was probably 8 things for sure to happen. Messages I got, people I talked to, things that they said. Two people called me that I was thinking about within a minute of me thinking about them. All these things, these signs came up. And it was like, smack, get your shit together, Doug, and start acting like the person that you are. One of my buddies said, Doug, he said, if you just saw yourself the way other people see you, oh my God, you'd explode. And I go, I have a responsibility to get my shit together because I can help a lot of people. And if I keep my mouth shut and I stay quiet, there's somebody out there that could use my help that I won't get to. And so give your self-image a little kick in the ass too.
Okay.
Just say, this is the way I'm going to be.
Okay.
That's it. Now, as I say all that, what's running through your mind and how are you feeling as I'm saying all that?
It's interesting because I come from I used to be a headhunter. So even with that type of career that I had, I would get clients to pay me $20,000 to $30,000 to find them a person that would stay there for 3 to 6 months.
Right.
And now it's I feel, I don't know why. It's I can't, it's.
Well, because you're selling yourself now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, were you self-employed? You worked for a company?
I worked for a company.
Yeah. All right. So what you were doing, you were selling your time at wholesale to the company, and the company was taking the money.
Yeah.
Now you said, what's that?
And then I went into network marketing. So then I started selling myself.
Yeah.
The product.
Okay.
Now I'm really just selling myself.
Yeah. But you're also selling a product though, too.
Yeah.
Right. Now you're locked in to some degree that the product is you. And that's a problem for you. Yeah. So just start thinking, all right, how do I have to think? And what do I have to believe? So I can be successful and help a lot of people in that I'm now the product. Right. And listen, you got a story, you got experiences, you've had successes and failures. You're just like the rest of us. Your story can help a lot of people. And if you just go out there with that attitude, guess what? They'll find you. They'll find you. So just decide, who and what you need to be in order to get where you want to go. And then you got to condition yourself through repetition over and over and over and over. I am. Every morning, part of my study is first gratitude, right? Thank God, praise, thank God for everything. I'll just thank God. Thank God for this. Thank you, Father, for this. Thank you for this. Da, 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 da. Right? And then I look at my goal. I write my goal out. And then I look at the goal and say, okay, who do I have to be to make that happen? And I go, I am. And then when I got my ass kicked the other day, I came with a bunch more I ams I got to add to the list. Because I have to become that person. Why? Because I want to. I desire to. It's on my heart. Which means it must be who I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't want it. So I got to make some adjustments to that stupid self-image and that ego that's stopping me from becoming my true self and doing what I want to do. Okay?
Yeah, that helps.
All right, report back to me. I want to hear what you come up with. All right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right. Thanks, Jen. All right, Tyson. Do we have anybody else?
Nope, but we have some questions that have been submitted.
Yeah, let's take a couple more, and I got a plan I want to give people. I want to wrap up at 9 o'clock, so I need to get onto the plan around 6 minutes too.
Okay, awesome.
What do you got for questions?
So we got Patty from Montreal.
Okay.
I want you to coach me, but I can't afford it. I know I need it, but I don't have the money. Hiring a coach is expensive. How do I know it's going to work?
Well, listen, this is a very common thing. The two most common problems people face when I'm talking and they want to work with me, I get people coming to me all the time that, will you coach me? Will you mentor me? Sure. But I don't have any time and I don't have any money. Well, what you got to start thinking about, what we're talking about here tonight around money, think about the law of compensation. Okay. Here's how you know it's going to work, because I'm going to show you, and whether it's me or somebody else you work with, couple things. Number one, you better make sure you are working on the right stuff, or the problems, the real problems, the blind spots. Okay. that are getting in your way. So a lot of people, one of the frustrations I have, there's so many coaches out there, life coaches, there's so much content online. It's so easy to get lost in a sea of coaches and a sea of material and content. And you're just trying everything and going all over the place. You don't even know what the blind spots are. Okay. But I can show you what your blind spots are fairly quickly, like in a matter of minutes. It doesn't take me very long now. And then we'll know what you have to change. And the key thing about what we do at Proctor Gallagher, what Bob has created, is that nobody does what we do. What we do is we go after the real cause of your results and the fact you're not earning money or enough money than that you can't afford it. Okay, it's got nothing to do with your skills. It's got nothing to do with your talent. It's got nothing to do with where you came. It's got nothing. It's all got to do with what you're thinking. And so we get that out of the way. Now, I always say to people go, well, what does it cost? I go, well, what does it cost if you do it or if you don't do it? Okay. So, to work with me ranges anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 if it's in a group setting or in a private setting. But fairly quickly, I can show you how you're easily losing $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $30,000 a year. You could be earning $30,000 more a year very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. So just take a look. Like me, I was stuck at $250,000 for so long. And now I know what I know, having followed Bob's instructions and his advice and his direction. Man, oh man, if I added up all the years that I know I could have had my income where it is now, well, that's a game changer, And then the truth is, listen, the reality is, if you just look around your house, you have all kinds of things that you didn't need, but you wanted it. You always find the money for what you want. The problem is we'll suffer through all kinds of trials and tribulations and problems, and we very rarely ever make an investment in the greatest asset, which is ourselves. I love what Jim Rohn said. He said, the best investment you can make is investing in yourself, because what you're doing is you're increasing your value that you bring to the marketplace, and the marketplace will always pay you exactly what you're worth. And so you just become a better version of yourself, like I said earlier. And you feel better, you become better, you do better, you put more good out, and just by law, you have to end up earning more money. And the cool thing is it's permanent. It's not like a temporary thing. Once you learn this and apply it, your income just goes up and up and up. I'm shocked at what I'm earning now. I'm shocked. So I go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm earning it. I remember one thing about self-image is Bob said, one of the best ways to improve your income is spend money on yourself. Because what you're doing is you're saying that you're worth it. And that boosts your self-confidence and you start earning more. The more confident you become, the more that you earn. And that's just the way that it works. So it'll work. Don't worry about that.
That was awesome. If anyone is in the chat right now, I would drop some bombs in the chat, some fire emojis, because that was awesome. That was
well, maybe they don't like what I'm saying.
I thought you had a lot of good truth to say to that, and I like that. Do you want another question?
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna do Rebecca from the UK. I got lots of ideas, but I'm stuck in a job I don't like, and I can't afford to leave it. I thought this would be a good question.
Yeah, well, if you keep thinking that, that's where you're going to stay. You're not stuck in the job. You're in a job maybe that you don't like, and you've got a regular. Let's presume you got a regular paycheck coming in. You're on salary or hourly or whatever. You got money coming in every week and every month, and you've got bills to pay. And so you're locked into that idea. You think that you're stuck and you can't afford to leave. Well, that's not true at all. The first thing you got to do is decide. Like I always, when I get this kind of a question, I tell people, "Why don't you quit your job?" And they look at me. I said, "I didn't say today." I said, "Why don't you quit your job? Why don't you make your mind up? You're quitting your job. Decide you're going to quit your job and pick a date that you're going to quit. Could be a month from now, could be 3 months from now, whatever you want. But don't put it off for a year, right? Not too far out. Go, I'm quitting on April the 1st. I've had lots of people do this. I get them to write their resignation letter, type it all up, and they have to do it every day. They have to resign every single day, and they got to send me a picture of their resignation letter every single day. What you're doing is you're drilling into your mind this decision, and the drilling into your mind makes it a committed decision. And when God and the universe know you're committed to a decision, then they start lining shit up. Then they start opening doors and opportunities. Then they start showing you ways to do it. But if you just sit around stuck on the job thinking you can't do it, you're never going to get any ideas on how to do it or how to leave it. Right? So you just make a decision. Now you can always put the date out further. I've had a lot of people that they've had to move the date. I've had a lot of people that end up quitting sooner. And so everything starts with decision. Everything I'm talking about tonight starts with a decision. The plan I'm about to give you, you're going to have to make a decision. All right, grab your pens, and I'm going to give you a quick plan. And maybe what we'll do, Tyson, we should maybe just make up a little poster, a little image that we can put onto Facebook that people can get, or we'll make it into a download. People can grab it or something. All right, but I'm going to fly through this fairly quickly. It's not really complicated. All right, number one, make a list of your current expenses and add them up. Just go through your bank account, go through your credit card statement. Anywhere money's coming out, just jot it down on a piece of paper, type it up if you want, export it from, your banking online to a spreadsheet, do whatever you want to do. Make a list of your current expenses and add that figure up, okay? A monthly amount. Right, so let's say your expenses right now are $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. Number two, add the list of things you'd like to be able to do this year and what that'll cost you. So if you're making 100 grand, don't write down you're going to go from 100 to $1 million. Okay, when it comes to money, you got to go up in base camps. Okay, you got to take yourself up one level at a time. All right, so make a list of things you'd like to do in 2021 that you're not able to do right now because you go, I can't afford it. Okay, so make a list of that, those wants, right, and add all that up and come up with a number. So let's say that's an extra $1,000 a month. So now we're at $4,000. Okay. Add an amount that you'd like to pay yourself first. Number one rule, always pay yourself first. Don't pay the phone company. Don't pay the mortgage company. Always pay yourself first. That's a rule. It's your money. You earned it. You pay yourself first. And what that means is you take a percentage of every dollar that comes in on your paycheck, okay, or into your bank account. And the first bill you pay is you put it aside into an account. Always pay yourself first, okay? Number four, start giving away a percentage of your income. Start with 2%, start with 5%, but start giving it away, okay? They call it tithing. Start giving your money away. Give it to people in need, give it to charity, give it to the homeless, give it to anybody that moves your heart. Start giving your money away, because money is just simply energy. That's all it is, right? It's made out of paper. It's made out of plastic. It's now digital. If you give it away, it will come back to you. And the more you give away, the more that it will come back to you. That is a law. Number five, start acting like the way you want to live. Start doing little things as if you're already earning the money you want to earn to do the things you want and pay your bills. So let's say now let's say you need $3,000 for your expenses, $1,000 to do what you want. And say you're going to pay yourself $500 and you're going to give away $500. So you need $5,000 a month. Okay. Well, what would you be doing if you're earning $5,000 a month? And just do little things, right? A great little thing. You have a lot of fun with it. It's called tip the bill. Okay. Tip the bill. Now you might want to start small. Go through Starbucks. You pay $45 for a freaking coffee. Tip, it's not gonna be $45, but say you got a $7 bill, tip the bill. It costs you $14. That's not a big number, but psychologically, you're starting to program your mind. So start doing little things. Go to an expensive hotel and have a glass of champagne and sit there like you're staying there. Take a book, order a glass of champagne or order an expensive glass of wine or whatever, and just spend a few hours there as if you're staying there. And they go, do you want to put on a room now? Let's put on my credit card. Just pretend that you're staying there. Okay. Come up with this monthly income goal, right? So we said like the $5,000. Number seven, invest in yourself. Okay. The more you start investing yourself, the more you're going to start to earn. We say that for every dollar you put in, you're going to multiply your income by 10 times. Okay. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not right away. But over time, you will start to multiply your income. Number 8, look around your house and get rid of all the things you don't need. Okay, you got a bunch of things in that house. You didn't need them. You wanted them. And if you add it all up, it's thousands of dollars. Get rid of it. Give it away. Sell it. Just clean out your apartment. Clean out your house. Get rid of all the clutter. Okay, that's number 9. Get rid of all the clutter in your life. Okay. Order is heaven's first law. The universe loves order. The universe operates in precise order. So get all the clutter and get your life in order. Clean out your closet, clean up your kitchen, get rid of all the stuff that you don't need. If you got 10 chairs in your house and it's just you, and maybe occasionally have one person over, you don't need 10 chairs, you only need 2. Right? Get rid of everything. It's called the vacuum law of prosperity. Okay? If you make space for something, so if you get rid of something by law, something has to fill that space. So get rid of that old ugly chair you don't like. And guess what? One day you're going to have a really nice chair. Okay, it's called the vacuum law of prosperity. And number 10, make a decision. You're going to follow the plan no matter what. Okay. Now I've just given you some really simple rules, but very few of you will follow them because you're locked into your beliefs and what you think you know about money. Yet you don't have the money that you want to be earning, and yet you won't follow the plan from somebody that does. And these are not my ideas. These are not my plans. These are just absolute rules and laws about money. Okay, they've been passed down for generations and generations and generations. So I know we're a little bit late here. I'm just going to wrap up. So here's books to read. Think and Grow Rich. If you want to start understanding how your thinking is causing your results, this is a great book. It's not a book that you read, it's a book that you study. Okay. This copy I got from Bob, autographed June 4th, 2014. All right. So that's coming on 7 years. I've had this book and I keep reading the book. Okay. So much in there. A great little book around money is called The Richest Man in Babylon. Just a little book, Richest Man in Babylon, amazing little book to really start changing your mind about money. Another great book by Robert Russell, it's called You Too Can Be Prosperous. And he really explains the spiritual side of money and really gets you to understand how you can literally create an abundance in your life. One of the first things he tells you to do is start stating all day long, I am prosperity, I am prosperity, I am prosperity, I am prosperity, I am. That's where I got that I am idea from. I am. Okay. Anyway, those are some things that you can check out. Okay. So listen, if you enjoy this, give us some love, share it, hit the share button. We're going to do a little giveaway here. So if you share it, and you go hashtag Ask Doug Dane, I will send you one of Bob's books, a great book, one of the first books I read on his, and it was the seminar I went to in the late 80s that really got me to shift my mind around money and started to earn it. It was called You Were Born Rich, and I'll send you a copy of the book. I might even be able to get Bob to sign it if I get a chance to see him shortly. He's got another great book. It's called It's Not About the Money. Okay, this is not about the money. This is about the way that you think. And so I'll send a copy. So I'm going to give away You Were Born Rich, and it's not about the money. If you share hashtag Ask Doug Dane, you got to go hashtag Ask Doug Dane. That's how we find you, that you did it. And I'll send you that book. We'll get a hold of you and get your address, and we will get the book off to you. So that's it. I want to thank you guys for listening, coming on. And I'm just committed to being here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. I started on Christmas Eve. I was here New Year's Eve, and I'm just going to start. And we'll be here every Thursday, and every week I got something on my mind that I think can help you, and I'll talk about it. If you want to talk about something, or you want some help, or you want to write in and you want me to talk about something on the show, just get a hold of me, send me a message. There's lots of ways to reach me, and Tyson and Aaron will take care of it, and we'll do it.
That was an awesome show, Doug. I'm really glad.
Good. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being here, you guys. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Good night.